Hello, everybody. It is I, Joyin Kyoma.
Who happens to be just redoing that
Yeah,
intro
because the intro
jumped the gun.
interrupted me.
You jumped the gun.
Tis I, your
excited
host.
for another 7-hour podcast?
No, we're not doing that again. Not when Pokemon came out today, and I've been playing that because it's very important that I have to see if a number shows up, and that number, if it shows up at all, needs to be greater than 11.
What?
The main character.
The number of Pokemon that are left in the game?
I'm trying to see if the main character's age gets mentioned, and if it is, if it's SPNatI eligible.
Oh dear.
And if it's not, I'll just make B, because she's really fucking hot, and I want to drink her armpit sweat. Anyway.
Gross, dude.
Let's get some introductions done. I'm Joe. I'm your host. You know me. I've got my co-host, as usual, Spnanon. Why don't you say hello?
Come on, man. You can't remove the bodily fluid from the body. I understand wanting to lick her armpit, but once it's off, it's not hot anymore.
That's my co-host, Spnanon. And with us today, we have the toppest of lad, the gear that really makes this whole machine work. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, it's me, Pivotal Cog.
It's like spit, spit's great when you're kissing, because it's on their body. As soon as they start spitting, I hate when they do that shit in a porn video. It's like, ugh, it's disgusting. Don't spit on me.
Cog is a mod for the game, and he's also made a couple of characters. Why don't you say which ones?
So yeah, I made Mia, Altena, Pit, Mahiru, Coco, and Marshall.
Am I the only one with not a 7-character pedigree on this cast?
We're trying to keep this one short.
Well, yeah. Well, last time was 7 hours long. We had to do it in 2 parts. We were all dead tired.
Never again.
This time we only have 2 characters to talk about and 7 questions. So maybe under 2 hours.
Let's start with works in progress. Coggers, what do you got cooking up?
My list hasn't really changed since last time I've been on here. I still plan on doing Setsuna from Fire Emblem Fates and Alma from Valhalla, but other than that, I don't really have much planned.
Yeah, I sent you that model. I had to dig up my old broken laptop for it. Which one of us was doing the posing on that? Was it you or me?
Not sure. I don't do it.
We might not have decided.
Yeah,
we're very professional here. Very, very tightly woven coat. So Cog, you were in the Masquerade, right?
Well, I'm overseeing the Masquerade.
You didn't participate?
That will be a secret until the 28th.
Oh ho ho. Okay, so anything else you want to say about your upcoming stuff?
Not really. Just look forward to more updates for my characters.
Oh, and I do. Okay. Spnanon, what about you?
What episode is this? Is this 38 or 39?
It depends on if you count
the last 2-parter.
Do you count the last episode as 2 separate episodes?
Well, you said it was episode 38, part 2.
Okay, then this is 39.
All right. Not much has changed. I guess you could say I am officially working on Fubuki from One Punch Man at this point, just because I have completely posed her at this point.
And you're not going to let all those poses go to waste?
I might.
Oof. Didn't you pose Ayla?
What?
Did you pose Ayla all the way? The Chrono Trigger girl? Ayla?
No.
Okay.
No, I only did a few of those, and then I got bored and did other things. So I've never posed a character completely and not have that go anywhere. But I just wanted to get that done basically, and have it on the back burner. I know I said last podcast that I was in the middle of doing that. Now she's basically done. So all her psychic poses are all compressed. It balloons her image size up quite a bit because of that gradient effect that she has all around her when she does her psychic powers. Hopefully I gave it some personality. She floats a little bit. She has her coat. She has her box cutter. She has her makeup.
The box cutter. The best way to utilize psychic abilities is to just have an unbreakable wall of floating knives around you at all times.
That sounds like you could very easily stab yourself.
Not if you're psychic. It's just like, that strategy you
Hey,
have
man,
in
that
a,
shit's
in a
hard.
fight when you're a kid, where you just swing your arms in circles and nothing can ever stop you, and you become the most invincible, unbreakable thing on the planet. It's
One
just
Punch
that.
Man literally has a scene like that.
It's just that. But
Or
like,
Saitama just remembers doing that as a kid where he didn't like spin move with his arms.
it's the unbreakable. It's the most unbreakable strategy.
Yeah, okay. Well, oh, she makes the cards float around her too. I just try to do a bunch of fun stuff like that. She has a butt.
Nice.
Gotta have a butt. Yeah, and in general, she is not afraid to just kind of nonchalantly use psychic power sometimes. So there's a lot of that in like the stripping, where she never takes it off with her hands. Basically, she always does it like in the most casual move possible with her. You point at the clothes and they start to float away just off
I
of her
assume
body.
you've been using the pose maker for that.
No, I still don't know how to use the post maker. I've never
Really?
made anything in it.
Might be
really-
worth learning.
I don't like it. I don't like animation in this game. I think that
Oh,
belongs
that's
in an
right.
epilogue. I think you should just be conveying motion with a static image because that's possible to do. I wish I wish I could like have like little floating rocks in her psychic poses, because that usually shows in anime that a character is doing psychic powers. But
Yep.
she's inside a building, there's no rocks.
Make it
Oh, look at
each
this
background
guy.
specific.
There's no
Oh
debris.
yeah, that's right. You could do
What?
background specific rocks and psychic powers and stuff.
How many backgrounds have rocks?
All of the outdoors ones.
When she still has her necklaces, I kind of make them ripple a little bit, but that's about it.
Look at this guy. He's fancy enough to live in buildings that don't have rocks on the ground.
Just debris and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, there's one extra pose that I think would be kind of fun, which you'll end up seeing. I always thought it was a neat idea with psychic powers. Props if you guess.
Is it gonna be something like upside down?
No.
Then I'm out of ideas.
Okay. Well, yeah. So she exists. I'm not planning on writing her anytime soon, just because I'm still eternally playing catch up with my other girls, and I'm a lot busier than I used to be. So I'm doing my best there. So maybe one day in the coming months. But I'll probably make a post just to publicize her a little bit, maybe.
Weigh
See if I can
some
get it.
popularity, how much people will like upvote that, I guess.
Mostly just to get some writing ideas. Like, hey, is there anything that you think that she should mention or talk about, or like with the other characters that I might miss? Like Saki and Sakura would totally like she'd bring up Zombie Man for the same reason. I
Or
don't know, have you
Virus
seen-
Guy with Piccolo. Well,
Have you seen One Punch Man?
Yeah, I watched the first season.
Well, Zombie Man doesn't really do much there. I think he's like in one scene. But he exists. Yeah, just stuff like that. What did you say?
I guess the virus guy from like the first episode that Saitama punches, how it's just like kind of looks like Piccolo.
Well, who would you say that to?
I guess Khalifa, but that would be like, I guess she wouldn't know, would she?
Well, Fubuki never saw Vaccine Man
Oh,
because
right.
Saitama immediately killed him.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that.
So you have to limit it in that respect. But
True.
there's like she would mostly, I think, liken people to other heroes, because she would have an acute awareness of everyone's rank because she's obsessed with that.
I want to see the hero ranking numbers that you give SPNatI characters.
Well, it'd be mostly like demon level threat or god level threat or something.
All right.
See,
So-
what's great about it is, she's obviously, nowhere near the strongest in her series, but no matter who she goes up against, she's like, okay, yeah, well, I know a guy who could kick your ass.
My bald-headed friend could beat up your dad.
Pretty much. But
Alrighty.
yeah, so that's just the idea. I mean, I posted her work in progress model a couple months back. I didn't really get any feedback, but people generally seem pretty supportive. Yeah, and that, just a work in progress model got like 100 upvotes. So there's definitely a market for it. She's well known for being beautiful. I'm sure I'd get more upvotes if it was Tatsumaki, because half the comments were like, "Can you add Tatsumaki?" I'm just like, no, fuck off.
All right. Anything else besides Fubuki?
Just working on responding, targeting, doing all that fun stuff. Tweaking poses is always something I love doing. I tweaked Maya's butt pose, so she is not just kind of submissively holding her arms in front of her body. Instead, she is grabbing and fondling her butt, checking it out for any love handles or flab.
Is there any?
No. Well, there's the proper amount, of course. It is mostly muscle, and there's a healthy amount of fat because all women have fat on their hips, unless you're Natsuki.
In which
It's healthy
case
to
you
have a certain percentage of body.
thin.
She's not a bodybuilder, Oh, and I also gave her a second butt pose, so she occasionally, most of the time, will now hold it a little bit longer.
A second secret butt pose.
Yeah. Because I was tweaking her butt and I couldn't decide on like which pose to use, like which leg arrangement and hand and stuff. So it's just like, well, let's just have both.
Why not both?
It's twice the butt. Now she has equal butt to Jura. They both have 2 butt poses now.
2.
See, here's the thing: is that Maya is for steady, monogamous, family relationships where you have children, because she is reliable, she is dependable. You will always see her butt at the exact same time. Whereas Jura is a tease, and you will only sometimes see her butt. Therein lies the characterization, deftly woven.
I see.
Into their behavior files. See, it requires multiple plays to truly understand the layers. Like characters are
you
like
have
ogres.
To have a very high IQ in order to appreciate SPNatI's writing.
You do. I have a tattoo of Maya. It's for the ladies' eyes only.
Anyway, anything else?
That's it for now. After Maya, I'll probably move on to Revi, catching her up, and then Jura.
All right. On my end,
Oh yeah, Ryuko exists.
yeah, I'm just deciding what my next project will be. Like waiting on poses for for Ochiko. Waiting on the Gundam model. Ochiko poses from Halo, Gundam model from Bokuman. And then, of course, as I play through Pokemon Sword, which, knowing me, will not take very long, or it will take the longest because I stop and do a million things besides the main story to see if the Sword and Shield trainer is legible.
Do Pokemon games have things besides the main story anymore?
Yes. There's this big-ass open field and a ton of other stuff. Like, it's like there's just this part of the game that's just open world now.
Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
It's pretty much, yeah. You can even cook and stuff, and like there's like high-level enemies if you go out of your high-level Pokemon if you get out of your way. Like if you're not careful, you can find yourself staring down a level 46 Galvantula.
Can you? Oh, okay. So Galvantula is still in.
Yes, I think that like.
What do you mean you can cook? You just sit in the middle of a field and cook?
Well, there's like the Poffin minigame.
Potatoes.
Apples.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
You make curry. Anyway.
Okay, now it's officially Britain.
Yeah. So that is my upcoming projects. Next up is let's go over.
Oh, well, hold on. Your upcoming projects. You're not going to mention Gloria is her name.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I'm playing through Pokemon. Well, that's not why I'm playing through Pokemon. I'm playing through Pokemon because it's Pokemon, and I will always play through Pokemon. But I need to make sure that she's legible. Is that the right word?
Legal.
Yeah, for the game.
Are you going to drink her armpit sweat?
No, she's not buff enough. There's no point. There's no soul behind it.
So you'll only lick the armpits of girls that get sweaty.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm weird.
Why aren't you just an armpit lover?
Because I only drink the most elite of armpit sweat.
Isn't it about the person behind those armpits, and it's just, whatever they do makes them hot because you just love the person underneath, Joe?
Yes. Anyway, let's talk about something else now. Where was I going
Don't
with
worry,
this?
it's less than last time.
Yeah. Chihiro added back to testing.
Cheerio.
Yep. What are your thoughts on Chihiro Fujikawa? I know that's not his name.
Did you know he has a dick?
Yep. I knew that the second that that's really the reason that I bought Viz Danganronpa, is because I knew that he would be about that and that he'd introduce mid-game gender-changing support. So, Cog, what are your thoughts?
Because of his trap waifu?
Pretty much. Cog, what are your thoughts on Chihiro?
Trap husbando?
Yeah, one of the two.
I'm glad to see him back. He's always been a good niche that hasn't really been fully utilized, so I think he'll be a good addition to the game once Viz finally gets around to fulfilling the sponsorship stuff. And as a character, I think he does really play well, like he's in character. So yeah, I'm just all around glad he's back.
I agree. Spnanon, what about you?
I don't know. It's hard to come up with new things to say for him. He's been on testing twice, and he's been dead twice, and he fulfilled all his sponsorship requirements, and he still died.
Yeah, well, that's just part of being a Danganronpa character. It's
part of being made by Viz.
It's
canon.
Yeah, the canon part of Danganronpa is just dying over and over.
Oh, does he die too? Do we have any Danganronpas that live? Kyoko, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? We don't have any modern Danganronpa characters that live.
Well,
spoilers
as well, but also Kyoko kind of dies.
What?
Like, she dies of poison, but she gets revived in the post-credit scene, which is kind of like a cop-out.
Well, can't poison that butt.
It's true.
She has a butt that just won't quit.
Shame you don't get to see it in SPNatI.
Maybe one day.
We'll just make it. Adopt her. Cog, weren't you thinking of adopting her?
I was thinking about it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go through with it now.
Can you at least make her butt?
Well, I don't really think there's much of a point if we're going to go through with the resort changes coming up.
Oh yeah, have we? Well, we're still not really sure what those are.
Yeah, we'll probably discuss it on the next episode.
Yeah, we're deliberating it sort of internally still, but I think we have a good idea of where we want to take it.
Joe, Kyoko's butt is safe for work. Can you just put it in the video?
If you post an image, I will edit it in.
I don't have an image of it. I just know it's great.
Then I'll search it and edit it in when I edit this video. Alright, let's see here.
I mean, that butt alone would make her, that's a good enough update.
Butts are nice. Okay. I'm glad to see Chihiro back. I am... did you just add everyone to post Kyoko's butt?
Yes.
Alright.
I don't know, there's only 20 people on this server.
That's true.
And one of them's Craig.
So I'm glad that
Fuck that guy.
I'm glad that Chihiro's back. I'm confused that he's not in the main game because it feels like Viz met all those sponsorship conditions a million years ago. So I'm just waiting for him to get main game now. All right. Up next is the only other character change that has happened so far, and that is Rainbow Dash getting added to testing out of nowhere. So what are y'all's thoughts on her, Cog?
I like what I see of Rainbow Dash so far. I think it's a breath of fresh air to have someone who sort of goes against the usual gradient of a polite and nice pony. And sorry, not sure how I want to put this, but it's a bit sort of more of an
apple to the 3 pairs that we've gotten.
Yeah, basically. You have the more competitive nature of Rainbow Dash to the more sort of milquetoast personality of Twilight, and the more super horniness of Pinkie Pie, and just the general politeness of Rarity. So having a more competitive player is sort of nice, and I think it opens up a lot of new and interesting interactions between the My Little Pony cast.
All right, Spnanon, what do you think?
It's funny how Twilight was the first My Little Pony character. Now she is such the odd girl out because she's the only one that's not the humanized Equestria Girls version.
That's how it is in canon as well.
But she's still a human. That's how it is in canon.
Yes,
that's how it works.
That she gets brought from the Equestria Girls universe, or no, she gets brought from the standard universe into the human universe, and it makes her into a human.
Hold on, I gotta respond to people posting Kyoko's butt.
I meant the canon one. These are all nice butts, though.
All right, based cog did it.
Very, very solid, very nice butts.
Very firm, very bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Very bubbly. I like it. I like it. Stoic girl butt.
What were we on about again?
I don't know.
Rainbow Dash.
I got distracted. Oh yeah, Rainbow Dash. Who unfortunately does not have a butt, which kind of turns me off from her, especially after Rarity's great butt last time.
I think that it's being worked on.
Yeah, it's horse cat, so you'll probably get one eventually.
That's what I figured.
I hope that we get one in the spats.
At the moment, I think, yeah, she's kind of lacking those trademark horse cat like custom drawn poses, but I'm sure she's gonna get some. So still early on testing. I do really like the custom drawn on abs that she has. They look pretty nice. Definitely looks very athletic. I can
appreciate muscles.
And those very pronounced hip lines. And she's got some nice custom shading on her breasts, so that small breasts actually look good for once. Maybe I could have done that for Maya, but I still think they look slightly too small for what Maya's would have been. I always feel like there's just not a proper perfect size.
Yeah.
You
Sometimes.
gotta compromise.
But anyway, yeah, I like the way she's shaded and put together. I like the sort of fit, lean, slender body type, so I'm all about that. So I like to see that. The one thing is that I noticed is that her posing is kind of. I get that she's supposed to really athletic and kind of moving all around, but something about it doesn't.
I feel like moving all around is very just part of the franchise that they come from.
Well, it's just the whole thing with like. I don't know, like the way she moves around is it starts to feel a little repetitive. Like she kind of it always seems like she just leans all the way to one side and then she just leans all the way to the other side and she just kind of keeps going back and forth like that. So, ultimately, despite all that movement, it didn't feel like much variety in the end, which is kind of weird. You wouldn't expect something that lively to feel flat, but I just think there needs to be a little more, I don't know, I guess subtlety. Maybe that's not what you're going for with a character like Rainbow Dash, but yeah. She bursts wings at the end and starts flying. I guess that's yet another character that flies. Just
flexing on you.
Just flexing on my mojo, the one thing I was really looking forward to in posing Fubuki.
I remember
everybody and their mother does it.
The second they dropped Rainbow Dash onto testing and they said oh, there's a special pose if you play her, look out for that. And I'm just immediately it's a wing boner, and
it's so weird that you expect My Little Pony. I know I've said this before, that you expect that to be oh god, ponies, but then they're totally cool. They're all just humans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no, they're all from a show where they're human. And it's okay, well that's cool, I guess, but it's also I'm surprised that's successful. I get that it's popular, but to me that sounds like Rugrats all grown up.
So here's the thing.
If you remember that, here's ponies but without the ponies. What?
I have created this theory. I call it the Sonic theory. And how it works is that basically, in order to get a successful franchise, all you need to do is you need to have a cast of characters that are all just based on animals with different colors. And you can see it in My Little Pony. You can see it in Sonic. You can see it in the Mortal Kombat ninjas.
Are you saying that just appeals to children?
It appeals to everyone.
Well,
how many Sonic OCs are there?
Well, okay, I guess there's some that are not ponies, they're other animals.
How many Sonic OCs are there? How many My Little Pony OCs are there? How many Mortal Kombat
because they
ninjas?
Have really simple design elements that are easy to interchange, and you can just be I change the color and use a few design elements from other characters, and here's Blonic.
Yep. That's how you do it.
Like there's kind of like a built-in character design where it's very easy to swap a few parts out and make it look like you have something unique. Because like if everyone's a human, then it's tough for people who struggle socially to come up with like a character that's not just them wearing the street clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you've ever seen an OC by someone who like is not very creative and also not very social, it's just like this is like a book smart nerd, and they have glasses and they like wear PJs in their room, and they're all like that because they don't know anything about other people. So if you have a Sonic OC, it's just easy to like use those parts already. And they're like all big and expressive, and you can like very clearly like read their face compared to a human.
Getting more closely back to topic, I think Rainbow Dash is good. I love her arts, and in canon, she was one of my more favorite characters, along with Fluttershy and Applejack. And I am really glad that she got made and that she's good. Horsecat and what's his name again? This is embarrassing. Tavi, yeah. They have never let us down. They've always put out stellar work.
I'm just really glad to be looking at Kyoko's butt right now. This was a great decision of me to ping everyone.
This was a really, really good move on everyone's part.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a couple episodes ago I said you were really into anal, and now like I just took a moment and I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? His cause was just. Butts are good.
What is this idea that liking butt means you automatically like anal?
Well, it's like
I just like a nice, cute, fat butt.
I agree.
Who doesn't like a butt?
Nah, that's true. Your cause was just, and I am a heretic for doubting you.
Honestly, the asshole is more aesthetically appealing when it's not being filled with something, because it's supposed to come out.
Anyway.
But yeah, I don't see the equivalency there.
Rainbow Dash is good.
None of my epilogues have anal in them, which I'm not completely against, but it falls in this weird line of like it might turn some people off, so I don't want to put that in just like a straight up vanilla have sex with this character epilogue. It always seems to fall right on this weird line of like I don't know whether to include it or not. Like it wouldn't ruin it for me, but
for some it would.
Yeah, so I also don't think it would really mesh well with your characters in particular.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't think so?
Maybe Jura.
Ew.
Maybe Revy.
No,
she's too classy for that.
Yeah, never mind. No.
I don't know. Maybe Revy.
Maybe.
Just like kind of fuck me like a cheap whore. Like she's angry about it.
Such romantic words from.
She's had a history of like she could be into something weird. Like I know she did seem. I gave her a lot of like lines talking about the ass because there is one scene of her like watching Balalaika, the Russian crime boss, edit like a porn video. I don't know why she doesn't have a lackey.
Now I have to watch Black Lagoon.
Yeah, they're running an errand and basically they stumble upon her, like the mafia boss, and she's just editing a video. And Ribby seems very interested, and she's like, "Is she taking it up the ass?"
Well, now I want to watch Black Lagoon.
They don't show it on screen, Joe.
They don't have to. Yeah.
So that would be actually reason for it. But the others, like Mei and Jura, it's like, I just got introduced to this whole penis thing. Let's start with the hole it's supposed to go in before we get more adventurous. Speaking
of the hole it's supposed to go in, Rainbow Dash.
Ryuko is too cute. Ryuko, she needs to, she's just starting out.
Anybody else got anything to say about Rainbow Dash?
She's good. I'm just looking forward to those custom drawn poses.
Agreed.
Same.
She also seems a bit repetitive with some of the generic lines I'm noticing. She's
didn't she drop with only like 500?
Yeah, about 500.
That just takes some time.
All right. Oh, I just got a package. All right. That leads us to question 1. Out of all the characters that have been made by users in the Discord, whose model character do you wish to see most enter the main game? I guess that's just like out of the models that didn't go anywhere. Coggers?
From what I can remember recently, The one I probably most want to see is the Neptune model from Hyperdimension Neptunia. That is a really good model.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, he's been working on it forever.
Dude, he's got the fucking like shading perfectly 1-to-1.
Yeah.
This is obsessive. This is starting to get into like Moyashi level.
Basically.
With all those like imports, posing is going to be a nightmare.
Is it all imports?
I think so. I mean, like you only have, because there's like transparency on them, and there's only so many belts that you can have. And he's doing them like piece by piece. So like, I'm pretty sure that
you can make any piece of it out of all 99 belts and just make that an import, and now you have 99 more belts.
Yeah, unlimited belt works.
It's tough to remember all the different models that have been posted to the Discord. I'm just looking at the spreadsheet here.
I'm trying to think. I'm a little bit disappointed that Team Five guys didn't go with Shulk, but and they did show off that model, so I can probably say that. But at the same time, Guzman was well made, so I'm not going to complain.
You had a model for Shulk. You could have just donated it.
I donated the Monado, but like I wouldn't have donated the model because at that point I feel like I would have been stepping on toes.
Well, maybe they'll make Rex.
No, I don't think they will.
Maybe someone will make Monkey say someday.
You know,
then we can have every character just like dunk on Rex's design.
Okay, maybe then. I actually have been speaking with Viz behind the curtain about perhaps making Makusei. I have a model I made a million years ago that I'm thinking of. No, I'm not thinking of. I am going to touch up. And then we're going to see if we can attain Steins Gate. Spnanon, though. What about you? Do you have any models that you wish were in the game?
Well, that Neptunia one is super good. Really makes my dress on Fubuki look like a pile of shit. I should probably go back and add more shading. I feel like it's a little antiquated. But would be good. Anything that Yuri does, I always think is super fun to just see the little snapshots of.
That would also be good because that means that it would mean that we get another Yuri character in.
So Himiko, Toga, their poses of like stabbing the cards through with her knife, or like licking her knife and then like accidentally drawing blood. Or Gavril or Ibuki. Didn't you have to like remove Mahiru's selfies for Ibuki because they were like outdated?
Yeah. She doesn't have she hasn't updated her Ibuki model. Although her Mikon model is really good, and there's like 3 characters that I'm tentatively working on with Yuri. Just because we signed a contract that we shall forever be in development held together.
You'll share the whiplash.
Yep. I'll carry this burden. I think that Halo makes a lot of good models, like Aqua from Konosuba.
Go see the movie.
I did. It was really enjoyable. It got me in a very Konosuba-esque mood. And
what do you do when you're in a Konosuba mood?
I bought a pair of glowing eye contacts, and I bought an eye patch, and I've been like just tuning it up in my room like Megumin would.
You spoke entirely in Chuni for like 12 hours.
Yeah. What was that, Spnanon?
Where do you get the money for all these things?
I don't spend a lot of money. I just work at the theater.
Steal.
I just work in a movie theater and like I just buy dumb bullshit. So let's see here. There were some other stuff.
Just get into IRL shit. If I take that any further.
Well, there was another model I was thinking of that I'm trying to remember. Oh, Cog, your Lysithia model. I feel like you doing Lysithia would be good. Best Fire Emblem 3 Houses girl, second best Fire Emblem girl.
I have considered it. I'm not sure I'd be able to do her justice, but maybe in the future.
Let's see here. What other characters? Cody makes some good models, but I never know the characters well enough that I like I'd like be like just sad that they're not gonna make it into the game, but a lot of the models he makes would just be like good for just their aesthetic alone. So that's my answer. What has been our favorite goal/target in the Masquerade Contest? Todd?
I find this one kind of hard to choose because a lot of them are sort of like the same basic things.
Yeah, like have X amount of lines and poses and stuff.
Is that
Yeah.
what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I think so.
There's a screenshot. There's a screenshot on the dev server I can post here that can like show you what I'm talking about. Hold on.
You post it, I'll edit it in. And I will edit it in. I do that now.
So in the top row, you can see sort of like what the targets are. I think out of all of them, my favorite is the collectible one because it's still kind of a new system, and I think advertising it by encouraging the Masquerade characters to add them is kind of a neat thing. So I'm not sure how many have done this so far. I think maybe 1 or 2 teams have done it, but I still think it's a good incentive.
I'm sorry, what? I was looking at Kyoko's butt.
I don't blame you.
I mean, it's right there. Look at that pale skin.
Actually, now that I see it, yeah, it looks like there's actually 3 characters who had it.
Yeah.
Now that I see
wow.
she's got a bit of a wedgie.
Flux, there's a lot of wedgie art of Danganronpa characters for some reason. Oh wow, Flux Team Dream just straight up out, huh? Like
Who are they going to make again?
Makase probably, just because the world loves to toy with me.
Let's see. Plain Doll never went anywhere.
Mei
Hatsune never went anywhere.
Jean Grey or Mei Hatsune, I think is just like being worked on by one person at the moment. Hunter's Workshop, I don't know. Quippo Asuma, like they posted a message today. So by the way, my Masquerade theories have changed. I no longer think that Mei is being made by Halo, which was my big theory.
What's your theory now?
Well, I'm not going to say because I know, because I saw a pose, and I'm like, this is a Halo pose. And I messaged him, and I'm like, hey, are you on blank? And he said, maybe. And I said, this pose right here, or there's a pose that makes me think this is you. And he says, are you on blank? And I said, nope. And he said, darn it. And I said, yeah, I saw a pose, and I knew. And he's like, was it this one? And I said, it was this one.
How many characters has Halo posed?
He's got a lot on the RP server.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's how you would know.
Yeah, that's how I know.
I've never stepped foot in there.
So let's see here. I guess like my favorite goal was just the starting line because that's when they all came out.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good goal.
What about you, Spnanon?
Spoilers, I'm not part of the Masquerade Contest, so this is a bit irrelevant to me. I mean, other than just seeing them all flood in, that was pretty cool to see. But other than that, I mean, it was almost the anticipation that was the most interesting part. Wanting is better than having, and seeing all those ideas being thrown out there was kind of cool because you didn't know what was going to take shape. So speaking of shapes, I'm going to say my favorite goal is Kyoko's butt.
That is a good goal to have.
I mean, it's quiet, serious, stoic girl and her butt.
We should see if we can get Buford to adopt her, because I remember he mentioned that he likes her.
I like her too. She was the first example I had of like, oh, this game has some actual character to it, and
maybe
like I had a genuine moment.
Maybe I should just get you Danganronpa and get you into it.
That sounds like a lot of work.
But think of what it's for. Fill your heart with ass.
I mean, I could just look at her butt right now, and that'll do it.
All right, next question. What is one character that fell off testing that you really wish made it in?
Chihiro got about as close as you can, and then fell off.
Really? Chihiro over somebody like Alice?
No, I was just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know which Alice you mean.
The snake.
We had both Alices that died.
All of the Alices are dead.
I know, it's a curse.
Halo has a really good Alice as well. And Rosen has an Alice model as well, too. They both have a model for Knife Alice. And Black and User, before User disappeared into the ether, mentioned some passing interest in Alice. Knife Alice. Alice Liddell.
Too bad that's probably not going to happen now.
Yeah, because User just
Yeah.
He sacrificed himself to save us from the sun. Rest his soul. I really hope he's okay. These jokes become a lot less funny if he's like actually like or something.
Who?
User.
Oh yeah, we haven't had a post from him since April.
It's crazy.
Is this his longest break?
Yes. Each time he goes on a break, it's longer than the last.
Rip.
Anyway, Cog. Of all the characters that have fallen off testing, which one do you wish had made it into the main game?
I mean, there's a few that were really good that I would have liked to see in the main game. Characters like you said, Snake Alice. There's Captain America, Vriska, 416. Just a lot of overall quality characters that had a good shot at actually making the main roster, but didn't for reasons.
All right, Spnanon, what about you?
So I'm gonna make a bold choice and say Leafy.
That is a bold choice. But are you just saying this because you've seen Beta's model and you know what could be?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, okay.
It was a bad idea. Although I'm sure Beta could do a good job, because why not? He seemed to be a genuine fan of the material. So, I don't know, there's a few choices. People seem to love Vriska, and now she's so old that people don't even remember her.
I dip my toes into the Leafy source material, and it is weird shit, my dude.
I'd rather have, like, I don't know, if Underscore did anything, which he really hasn't in a while, I would prefer if he, like, just updated Amy's model, or updated Amy at all.
I prefer a Ruby update.
Well, you would.
Yeah, I would.
Just like any Underscore content, really.
Ruby fills my heart with butt rock.
Butt rock?
Butt rock.
Do they play a lot of butt rock?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog and Ruby are the champions, the heralds of butt rock.
That implies that Sonic's like vocal tracks are somehow bad or kitschy.
What? No, butt rock is great.
Live and Learn is fucking good. It's legitimately good.
Live and Learn is butt rock.
Do not put that on the same level as shit like Nickelback.
Sonic music is butt rock.
You're butt rock.
Thank you. I'm taking that as a compliment.
Butt rock is a bad thing, Joe.
No, it's not. It's the best.
Butt rock is like the stuff your dad listens to as he works out.
It's good music, Spnanon. My dad was not.
But it's a derogatory term.
So I'm taking it back.
It's like the kind of rock that a guy would listen to when he has his butt half hanging out.
Is that why it's called? Anyway,
it's not a good butt like Kyoko's.
Of all the characters that have fallen off testing that I wish had made it in, well, I'm gonna be inheriting the flames of Janetta. But also, like, I think that Odin, Warrior of Odin's Alice, like, is cute, and he's been just iterating on that modeling character forever, and I feel like if he tried again, he could probably make a really strong character with her. And then pardon?
You know who I miss?
Who?
Marula Snide.
You know what? That is also a really strong contender that just came and went out of nowhere.
I agree.
Yeah. She had potential.
Yeah.
Uhura did not have potential. I'm just looking through the list here.
Was Uhura ever main game? I feel like she... Okay.
No, not even close. She didn't get a single update. The best contribution Uhura has made is that Moon has a targeted line with her that's like, Mom?
Alright.
Anyway, Marula would have been cute. It would have been awesome. Cute snobby tsundere.
Orange is
Slytherin
typing
girl.
something in the podcast server. I'm interested in what this is.
Where she's just like, I don't know. Can't believe I'm having sex with a Muggle, ruining my pure blood.
You gotta be a little bit racist.
Exactly.
That's how you make a good fighting
It's
game.
just fictional racism, so it's fine.
All right. Do you struggle to get back into writing, or
I want Marula to make fun of my Muggle blood as I bang her.
Right.
I want to know how, like, there's no such thing as sexual inadequacy when you're a wizard, right? Like, you could just magic yourself into a good position.
Probably.
Like, okay, a dick growing spell had to be like the very first thing that they came up with.
Akio come.
What?
Akio, it's the
Just in case you
spell
miss.
that like Akio is the spell that like brings something to you if you say it.
So just in case you miss, you could still land on her face.
Alright. Do you struggle to get back into writing or art after a break? Is it a by-character situation where their voice mannerisms are tough to recapture? Coggers?
For me, it's definitely on a character-by-character scale. Like, when I'm writing certain characters, I'll have an easy time. Like, it's easy for me to find the voices of Peter Palutena, or especially Lara Shell. But then I'll struggle to get back into, say, Makiru or Koko's mindset. And then there's the art, which I can never get into in general.
You've never enjoyed it?
I don't know. Your Ignat's model's like pretty solid. It's got like some really good-looking hair.
I mean, I think I can put out at least decent quality models, but I don't know, it's always been a bit of a struggle for me.
The thing with Kisekai, in order to like make like the level of models that someone like
Bagel, Halo, Mouse.
yeah, is that they just like make a million of them. Well, I don't know if Bagel does, but like Halo makes a ton of models, and so it really is just a practice thing.
I find the process of creating art to be very frustrating, but also when it finally looks right, it's incredibly satisfying. Like, I don't hate making art, I just hate it when it doesn't look how I want it to.
Basically.
If I could get it the way I wanted it every time, I would just always do art. You know, like I can picture it in my head and it's perfect.
I know Bagel tends to look at Keisuke as sort of like a puzzle, and yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
I see a big jigsaw where the pieces don't fit together.
It's a rhythm game. It shouldn't be, but it is.
It's like you dumped out 5 different puzzle pieces, or different puzzles.
Alright. So, Spnanon, what is your answer?
How long has this been going for? An hour? Alright, we made it over an hour, guys.
Yeah, more or less.
Only 6 left.
Yeah, we're already over halfway there.
Ay. Do you struggle to get back into writing or art after a break? I feel like this happens to me a lot because I kind of laser focus on one character for a while. And I kind of laser focus on either art or writing. I rarely bounce back and forth, which is probably a healthier thing to do, and I just never do. I just want to completely focus on one or the other, and I spent the last week or two focusing on art with posing Fubuki, and now I'm getting back into writing. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's definitely more of a bi-character situation where, you know, I've written so much for Maya that I've finally settled into just kind of how to make her talk. And then I don't want to like jump back and forth between characters because it's kind of like Whiplash, switching between voices like that. But, you know, each day, if I just like, this is a Maya day, this is a Revi day, that's a lot easier. Just I would never do so in the same session or like without like, you know, like a few days at a time at least it would be. So, and then art I can kind of swap between characters a little bit, but it's also I always go on this like big sessions of like, here's just I'm gonna make an epilogue and that's all I do, or I'm gonna make I'm gonna pose a character and that's all I do for like a couple weeks. So I'm very segmented, very focused in that way, but it's not too bad. I think that just comes with experience. I think it's more just kind of momentum. Like I always feel as if like I won't be able to produce like the same volume of content going back from like writing or art that I did last time. So it takes a little bit to kind of get the wheels rolling, which is sort of why I always go in those big stretches of only doing one particular thing because I want to kind of get the flow going. But that's me.
So when it comes to art, I can pretty much just pick it up and put it back down whenever I want. But when it comes to writing, I've got more of like what I call fireball style or fireworks style, where I'll go real big and then I'll just burn out completely for a while. And then it takes me a while to like get back into the swing of things. And I think that the last time I put out like a big dialogue update was the Heroes update, and I just haven't had any mojo in me to write since then. But I'm starting to feel like it coming back, and I'll probably be back into writing in a moment. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be putting out at least an update. Let's see here.
Go for it, dude.
Up next is what work in projects, what work in progress projects not on testing are you currently the most excited about?
Well, there's a lot of work in progress questions this time. God, can't talk. A lot of looking towards the future. New decade, new us.
Mm-hmm. Cog, what about you?
Answer's basically the same as before. Basically just Neptune.
That is a strong choice. Speaking of which, Nutty just posted another update, and I'm going to edit that bad boy in. Those eyes still make me feel weird.
They're just big, cute anime eyes.
They're the biggest anime eyes. Like, they take up more room on her face than, like, her nose, mouth, ears, everything put together. What about you, Spnanon?
What projects? So, is your answer just Neptunia again?
It was Cog's answer.
Yes, mine.
Isn't this basically the same question that we answered at the start of the question segment?
No, because it doesn't necessarily have to have a model this time.
Well, then how am I supposed to keep track of them?
I mean, like...
Out of sight, out of mind.
Well, the first one could be stuff that, like, got dropped or just didn't go anywhere.
I don't know. Who do we know that doesn't even have a model?
Napsu characters and Masquerade. Yeah.
Who's she making? Orphea?
Yeah, Orphea.
From something? I don't know what she's from.
I think a Blizzard game, Heroes of the Storm.
Napsu, why do you only make women? What are you trying to tell us?
I remember that I think that she was originally going to make, like, Loader from American Gundam. What is it?
I mean, I'm down with it, but...
What's the name of that? Voltron, that's what it is. American Gundam Jake Long.
Wasn't it American Dragon?
Yes, but Voltron is just American Gundam. It's a joke. I'm making a funny.
Is Transformers Japanese?
No, it's American. It's Hasbro.
Why did I have this idea in my mind that it was Japanese?
Because it would make a really good anime.
I don't know. I guess that makes more sense. I don't know why I'm conflating that. Anyway, I feel like we answered this question already.
I agree.
Sorry, my guy.
Let's answer the next question. What are your favorite games? Cog, what do you love about Kid Icarus?
How do you know they don't mean board games? Candyland.
So yeah, my favorite game is a little game called Kid Icarus Uprising. You might have heard of it. It's just got a lot going for it. Like, do you really want me to get started on, like,
sure, why not?
gush about it?
Yeah, gush away, my guy. Well, actually, you know what? Let's answer the next question first, and then we'll go back and we'll all gush about our favorite. Let's start with if you could pick anyone to take on development for each of your characters, who would you choose and why? I should slow down when I read. If you could pick anyone to take on development for each of your characters, who would you choose and why? Cog?
I think for me it's kind of easy since a lot of my works are already collabs. So, like, I'd probably give Mia to Dorian. I'd probably give Coco to Namasp. I'd give Larshell to Opal, but he's sort of retired now, so probably not. I think would be a good fit for her now.
Not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I could Larshell.
Have you played Sacred Stones?
I did. I played all of the Game Boy games.
I was going to say, is there a Fire Emblem you haven't played?
Yes. I haven't played any of the ones that are Japanese. I haven't played a ton of them. Like, I haven't played the one on the Wii. I haven't played the DS ones. A ton of Fire Emblem games I haven't touched.
How many are there?
There's 16.
16, yeah.
It's nothing.
A lot of them are Japanese exclusive.
In terms of Paladin and Pit, I'd probably give them to probably you and Halo, because I feel like you could do them the most justice.
I know Halo's really good at modeling Kid Icarus characters. Has he played Uprising now?
Well, he'd be more on the art side, and you'd be more on the writing side.
Yeah, that's probably a strong way to do that.
Then you'd get Mahiru, of course.
I just inherit half of your legacy. I see.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wear that badge with pride.
I mean, it helps we both have a lot of the same interests.
Mm-hmm. You've got good taste. I know, because it's my taste. All right. Spnanon, what about you?
I think this question has come up on podcasts before. Solitaire has I think, and I are kind of on the same wavelength in terms of writing characters a lot, so I'd really be happy with him taking any of them. I mean, Saki from Zombieland Saga kind of proves that he could take on Revi or Ryuko if he wanted to, no problem.
Revyoko.
He can definitely get into their heads. Maya and Jura are a little tougher to call because nobody knows who the fuck they are, so it's already a very small
Halo
pool.
does.
What?
Halo does.
Has he done any writing? I'm sure he could, but I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, but he knows the characters at least.
Yeah, and so that's a small pool of people already, and then people who've seen it who actually liked it. Mike's made a character. He's done he could probably do a fine job, and he thought it was okay at least. The Lonely Phone Box does some great stuff, and I think he watched it. He thought it was fine, and I don't know if he's done any writing either. Fuck, I'd enlist him to just make some more butt poses. Just no more dialogue. Just keep adding more and more art to them.
Yeah, they've got enough dialogue as is.
No, there's no such thing.
You're right.
There's no such thing.
Ryuko? I said it right. Are you proud of me?
Yes.
Thanks.
Well,
That's all
like I
ever
said,
wanted to hear.
Revi and Ryuko, they kind of fall into the same vein.
That's true.
Solitaire could handle either one of those. So yeah, I think Maya should just die with me.
Take her to the grave.
Pretty much.
If you love something, set it free. If you really love something, kill it with you.
Fuck it to death.
Alright. Let's see here. My answers are...
That way you'll really die together.
Till death do us part? No. We will go together.
Just come so hard you both explode.
Let's see here. Akko is obviously barely my project. I just did half the arts and stuff. So, and Masquerade would take that. Malia is pretty much gone to Mouse, Mouse is what's that scientist who put the cat in the box? Schrödinger. Schrödinger's Mouse, where he just pops in and
literally
pops out.
put a cat in the box.
I know. Chiaki? Let's see here. Chiaki, I could leave to a couple people. I could leave to Cog because he's got stake in having Danganronpa characters. There's a guy on the Discord who likes Chiaki quite a bit. I could leave him to her, or leave her to him, but he hasn't shown me anything, so that's probably not a wise idea. Yuri. Chiaki would go to Yuri. Hanako would be a tough one. Hanako's a character that I guess I give her to Corky. Kamina, Beta. Kira is dead. Mahiru.
Call an ambulance.
I've already given to Cog. We did. That's why he's dead. Rinka. That is a tough one. Oh, probably also Cog. And Saki's gone to Beta already. So I'd probably just divide it evenly amongst Cog, Beta, and Yuri. That's probably a smart way to go about doing things.
I like how none of us feel confident enough to give it off to some rando. We're just keeping it completely within the family here.
Well, I don't know randos. If somebody approached me and showed me that they could do it in a good way, I wouldn't say no. If I was on my deathbed, I guess. But I'd like to at least know what I'm giving my life's work to.
I mean, would you really want to give away Maya to just a random Bob King out there?
I don't even want to give her away to somebody I know.
Spnanon wouldn't give Maya away to the people who wrote Vandred.
Well, everything I keep hearing is that I did a better job than they did, so...
Alright.
The groundwork.
Now let's have Cog gush about Kikara's Uprising.
See, it's really just... Here's the thing. A lot of Vandred's problems are just because, its main character is generic shonen in a context where that really just does a disservice to what's otherwise a very good premise. So me writing as if Maya is the lead, it's that would make the show so much better if she was the main character. And
Jura spin-off anime.
Maya.
Right, sorry.
You can kind of tell because she's outside of the main character, she's the one that gets the most attention and the most development. You could tell they had something good going there and they knew it. She is totally the most interesting one. It should have just been about her. But
It's her.
that's enough of my criticism.
Jura Vandred. Maya Vandred. Why do I keep saying Jura?
I hope you remember at this point from all the memeing that that's not literally their last names.
Yeah, no, it's Undertale.
Exactly. It's just Sans and Papyrus wearing human skin.
That'd be an interesting Halloween ult.
I keep trying to convince people if someone wants
2B.
yeah, a 2B costume for Maya, because I don't want to do it. But if anyone wants to do that, I will so put it in. Because I like 2B. I also like Maya.
Alright.
You'll finally get the 2-butt.
Coggers. Gosh about Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, it's a really good game. All the characters are really good. Like, you have a charismatic main character. The side cast is all really good. The villain is someone you love to hate. Just an all-around strong cast. Then the gameplay's good. You have customizable weapons. Like, it's point and shoot, which is kind of unique for a 3DS game. The controls, yeah, they're kind of wonky, but
I never had an issue with them.
yeah, I never did either. Like,
but I was also probably at a point in my life where I was just not able to realize if they were wonky.
If you play for extended periods of time, yeah, you can cramp up, but hey, that's why they put those frequent break warnings in. Beyond that, like, there's an award system that's really fun to play with. What else? The music's really good.
Yeah. Dark Pit's theme is just, it hit me with those Spanish guitars.
Yeah, I still listen to the soundtrack to this day. The game even had a multiplayer scene that, unfortunately, I was too late to get onto. But from my scene, it seems really fun.
It was alright. I played it a lot when it came out. I was terrible at it, but I just spammed, like, Laser and Black Hole.
I'm sure Kid Icarus Uprising is a good game. All I remember reading about it was that you needed 3 hands to play it.
See, I don't know if that's... I never had that issue. I was able to play it perfectly fine. And I even played on the higher difficulty on a lot of the stages.
Is that a DS game or a 3DS game?
3DS
It's a 3DS.
It was it had a lot of really cool world designs. Like, there's like a part where you like go onto a moon base, and there's a part where like the ocean opens up and you like run across the parting sea.
Yeah, the atmosphere of the game is just all around really great.
Like even every single boss.
Oh, by the way, if you're done listening to SPNatI, you don't need to listen to this anymore.
Yeah. Every boss is just like pumped with personality. Like even like the little not important bosses. Like there's like a Hydra. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the Space Kraken I think is just the big space squid. But like there's like the Hydra, and it's just 3 heads that are all like arguing with each other, which like looking back isn't exactly an original concept, but they make it.
They took that from the original Kid Icarus.
Really?
Has there been another game after that?
No, there's Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters, and Kid Icarus Uprising.
They have little nods to Kid Icarus lore in like the Smash Bros. Games, but other than that,
yeah, with like Palutena's guidance.
Yeah.
When are we going to get Palutena's guidance for every character in SPNatI?
I'm working on it.
That was for the 1,000 lines I won in the art contest.
Dude, I want Solid Snake in the game just so we could have like codec calls on all of them.
I want NMASP to make Snake.
Ping, NMASP, are you listening? Do
listens.
that. And every targeted reply is just him repeating what they said, but that ending at the end.
Much like a cruel and unloving God, NMASP hears my prayers, but he does not answer them. So, do you want to gush more about Kid Icarus, Coggers?
I think what else there is to talk about?
The waifus.
Do you really just get cock-teased by Palutena the whole time?
No. There's some part where she's your enemy.
Yeah, the waifus
that appeals to the Riona types?
Yeah, the waifus of Uprising are pretty good too. Like, you have Palutena, then you have characters like Phosphora and Pandora. All pretty good.
Magnus, if you're into dudes.
If you're into, say, is Magnus the name of a woman?
If you're into dudes who like swing around giant clubs like they're paper.
Dudes with attitude.
Underscore will probably be into Gal.
Yeah, because she wears that big suit of armor. There's that butler dude as well.
Yeah, Arlon's pretty good.
There's a lot of really good characters in that game. The writing is really, really fun.
Yeah, the writing is what makes the game, honestly. It doesn't take itself very seriously.
Like, even in the big climactic final battle, it's just like the main characters are doing like they're crying out their names. It's like Hades, Pit, Hades, Pit. Hey, and then they sneeze. It's a very charming game.
I also liked how they sort of copied over Smash Bros.'s trophy system with the idols. I always like collecting those.
Yeah, what I did is I looked online for the pictures of the QR or of the AR codes, and I just scan.
Yeah, I did that for all the rare ones that you couldn't get in game.
My GameStop didn't have any of the cards, and I got it on release date, so they just didn't stock.
That's a shame.
All right, you got anything else you want to say about Kid Icarus Uprising?
It's a really good game. If you have a 3DS, go play it. If you don't have a 3DS, go buy one. Go play it.
If you don't have a 3DS, you've missed out on so many good games if you don't have a 3DS, really.
I've had a 3DS since pretty much launch, so I've had it for like a decade now. It has been collecting dust for a decade. I never bought any games for it. I don't know. I started kind of falling out of buying new releases at that point, so it was just at the wrong time. I mean, here's the thing. I bought it because of trailers for Paper Mario Sticker Star.
Oh, Oof. No!
Because it looked like it was going to be a 1,000-Year Door sequel. And then we got what we got.
I'm sorry. I had a change on partner instead. We got Sticker Star.
Thankfully, I didn't buy it because I saw how bad it was before I bought it. That just completely ruined the 3DS for me. It was like, you know what? I'm done.
Super Paper Mario was really good.
Super Paper Mario was okay. I have not played it in so long. I need to see.
It was a very different game, but I thought it was really good. Dementio is the best Mario character.
Who?
Dementio.
Dementio. Yeah, he seems like your type.
Yeah, just this,
a little bit edgy, a little bit whimsical.
A little bit edgy, a little bit whimsical, and he's got one of my favorite aesthetics where it's just gesture and playing cards. I love that motif.
He's just he is a pretty cool villain in the fact that he just takes absolutely no prisoners.
He kills you. He sends you to hell.
He toys with your fucking emotions just as a player, because you go through that whole sequence where you don't save World 6 in time, and then it's completely destroyed, and then you go back to the world map, like the hub, the safe zone. You're just in a fucking cutscene, and he just warps up. He's like, "What's up?" And then he just fucking murders you in a cutscene, and you can't do anything.
He's the best. He's the coolest.
You're just talking to the friendly, helpful guy, and I'm like, "Oh, what's the next chapter going to be?" Boom. So you're all here. I'm going to fucking kill you.
Then you end up finding out later that that actually was meant to help you.
Was that meant to help you? I don't remember the plot. Is it because you met up with Luigi?
Yeah, basically again? The MacGuffin was
the crystal hearts.
Yeah, it was rendered unusable, so he sent you to a place where it could be restored.
Oh, did he need them all?
Yes, because it was the only thing that could defeat Count Black.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played Super Paper Mario.
It's been 12 years since it released.
It's funny. That's actually the first one I played because it was new, and I just got a Wii, so I played that and I liked it. And I think and then I went back and played the other ones, and I definitely appreciate them more now. But it's been so long since I played Super Paper Mario, and I want to see how much it holds up. I'm sure it's not as good as the first two, but it's still fine on its own. I'm just wondering how much of the gameplay just feels shallow.
I'd say it's the last of the good Paper Mario games.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's not bad. I think in retrospect it's gotten a worse reputation because now people see that as what led to Sticker Star. They kept dumbing down the gameplay.
You can't blame Sticker Star for the sin, or you can't blame the father for the sins of the child. Well, I guess you can. That's kind of what parenting is. But,
you can. That's exactly what you do.
I guess that's pretty much exactly who you blame. Now I think about it. But
yeah. Well, Super Paper Mario at least had the story and the characters.
Yeah.
Of the others.
I mean, it didn't really have the partners that the other games had. It just had the weird.
God, though, can you imagine that great fucking story in with 1,000-Year Doors gameplay?
Oh, that would
all
be
those
good.
settings. How fucking good would Count Black's Castle have been if you could just play it 1,000-Year Door
with partners Coops and stuff.
I sent that a ROM hack yet.
Well, hell, why not just make Peach, Bowser, and Luigi your partners?
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
or you could have the Pixels as partners and swap out Mario, Peach, Bowser, Luigi, whatever.
Anyway, Spnanon, what's your favorite video game?
The Paper Marios are definitely up there. They're always fun. But if I had
Really?
to, well, that doesn't seem like
out of all the video games ever, Paper Mario?
well, it's just on topic.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I don't know. Thousand Year Door is definitely one of the most satisfying, gaming experiences I've ever had. Just overall, like 100%ing it.
I never 100%ed it.
No, you never did all the troubles.
No.
There's one where you just like there's like just this Goomba that just wants to date Goombella. So you have to like go up. You have to go into like the pirate's cave where he's hanging out in this like dingy little corner. He just like starts to put the moves on Goombella, and then she rejects him, and then he leaves, and then it says the trouble was solved. It's like, I don't think I solved the trouble. He didn't get what he wanted. Then there's that one where he had to like go 50 floors down in the pit.
And you fight that dragon thing, right?
No, that's 100 floors down.
Okay, it's been a hot minute since I've played.
There's one trouble where you just literally have to go to the 50th floor.
What's on it?
Someone wrote like an embarrassing message, and you have to bomb it off the wall.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it said though.
I think you get like an inventory expansion for that.
No, you get the inventory expansion just for reaching the 50th floor. It's like the treasure chest that's on there.
And the inventory expansion lets you play with Moon.
I don't get it.
Inventory. The thing where you have a podcast dedicated to.
Why would you want to play with Moon though?
You wouldn't.
It's
really more of a...
place.
The Pit of 100 Trials seems like the place that Moon would hang out. It's as dirty as she is. And it has 100 different enemies for her to bang.
You get to the 100th floor and Moon just stands there.
Why do you need to go to the moon? It's already in the 7th chapter.
Become soaked path.
Oh god. I don't know what my favorite games of all time are. It's hard to pick just one. My favorite series, probably Mega Man. Just for like pure, like perfectly designed, like platforming kind of action.
Mega Man also
gameplay.
It almost falls into the Sonic theory of just multicolored thing.
The robot masters.
A bunch of OCs, Mega Man OCs.
Yeah, it doesn't quite because they're not animals.
I was gonna say they're basically humans.
Yeah.
Like Mega Man has like a ridiculously kind of convoluted story that thinks it's a lot smarter than it really is, but
it's also got Proto Man, who's really cool.
Just no matter, I haven't played like the RPGs like Battle Network, but just the 4 series of like platforming games, so Mega Man and then X and then Zero and then ZX, like that is just some top quality stuff. No matter which one you're playing, like they're not all equally good, but every one of them is like it's at least at the baseline level of quality that you expect, except for X6 and X7.
Burn to the ground.
Yeah, X7, I have not played that. It looks completely unplayable. X6 is playable because it's on a good engine. It's just really badly designed. But the rest of them are like perfectly, like you can just pick any of them. And I always see that as like the gold standard of like good difficulty, good like platforming action design. Because when I die in a Mega Man game, it always feels like it's my fault. It always feels like that was hard, but it's not insurmountable. Like I just need to try again and I'll figure it out. And it always like you kind of like once you start to learn how to like a boss seems so overwhelming at first, and when you finally learn like kind of how to dodge some of their patterns, it's just so satisfying to pull that off. And you just get that same experience every single game where you just learn how to get through the levels. It never feels frustrating to me. So I just love how, through all these different developers, like, 20 years worth of games, they're just all like that. I love it.
I've only played X, the one that Proto Man came in first. I think that was 3.
Yeah, that's Mega Man 3.
And 11.
There's just barely any RNG. It's just like stupid stuff that you can't avoid. It's always like you can improve and get better, which I really like. Speaking of platformers, I also really like Sonic. Fuck all the haters.
Yeah, Sonic games are fun.
Sonic games are usually pretty good. Like, fuck all the e-celebs that pretend that like Sonic was never good for some reason. All the stupid fucking kids that parrot their opinions.
Yeah, I know. It's
like Sonic Adventure is somehow like this horrible game, and it's not like miles better than most games around that were released around that time.
Like it is bullshit. Like Sonic games are buggy and people point and laugh. Mario games are buggy and like people say, "Oh, look at this tech I discovered."
Mario games aren't buggy.
I mean, Mario 64 is The infinite backwards long jump, all the weird movement options. People celebrate it when it's Mario, but when it's Sonic, they point and laugh.
Well, that doesn't... Okay, look, you can't... If you compare Sonic to Mario, yes, it's worse. Like, Mario games are on a level of quality that Sonic has never consistently managed. I'm not denying that. Backwards long jump is not a glitch. It's something you intentionally exploit, and a casual player would never run into.
But it is
Sonic,
a glitch.
Like, Sonic games have problems. They're questionable design decisions, but going fast is fucking fun. It is so fucking exhilarating to like be able to blast through a level, and just the fun like time attack and score attack like approach it has, like trying to A rank some of the Sonic like levels in Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Heroes. Some of the
I stand
fucking
by
hard.
the fact that the Knuckles levels are fun.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm not that much of an apologist. It's only the Sonic levels that are good.
I won't apologize for the Tails levels because they're slow and clunky, but the Knuckles levels, you can move fast.
If Sonic Adventure 2 was just like nothing but it was like 30 Sonic levels, it would be the best game ever made. And there's always good parts, you know? Like Sonic Unleashed, the day levels are fucking amazing.
Knuckles levels are only good if you have good RNG.
All the classic games are like, first of all, they're fucking fine. They're all perfectly fun games. The Advanced series, not quite as good, but they're all there.
Are you lumping in Sonic CD with the classic games? Because I have 100% of that game. Let me tell you, it's not that great.
I would not include Sonic CD quite as much there. I didn't 100% it. I just did the version where you just got all the time stones, because the time travel thing's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's just you have to like map it out in your head real hard.
It's so not suited for exploration. Like they tried to design the levels around that because there's like no bottom pits or anything.
Metal Sonic is cool though.
But it's just such a pain in the ass. Like,
and that opening is like really good.
Sonic is about going fast. And well, being able to, like, if you know the level enough, you can and practice it enough, then you can go fast. It's not about exploring. So yeah, like all the advanced games are perfectly fine.
Rush.
The Rush games, yeah, exactly. They're perfectly fine.
It has Blaze the Cat as well, who's the best Sonic character.
All the 3D games, like, they have their problems, but there are also parts that are good. And I guess you have to experience it as your kid, but just some of the cheesy cutscenes and voice acting is just the best.
I remember for some reason, there's a line in Sonic Adventure 1 that I never understood why, but when I was just young, it made me laugh a lot. And it was like when Sonic sees Zero for the first time, it's like, look at this chunk of cheesy hardware. I don't know why, but when I was like 8 years old, that was the funniest thing in the world to me. Like, it literally had me on the floor laughing, and I don't know why, because there's like nothing, there's like no joke there. It's just an insult.
It's slightly funny.
He's fun the way he has a cocky attitude. It's great.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I do combine with the slight punniness.
What now?
I mean, there's kind of a pun in it.
You're cutting out, dude.
He's saying there's kind of a pun in it.
A chunk of cheese?
Oh yeah, I guess. Chunk of cheesy heart.
Yeah, well, anyway.
What's your favorite of the Sonic games?
Oh, I can't pick a favorite.
Mine is...
pick a least favorite.
What is your least favorite?
Sonic 06. Let me tell you about Sonic 06. I have 100% of that game.
Oh.
Just because I had it. I owned it. That's what I got a PlayStation 3 for.
So the Sonic games that we know you've 100% are Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06.
Yeah, I've 100%ed all the early 3D games.
So you got PS3 for Sonic 06 and you got 3DS for Sticker Star.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of... I don't have a good track record of this. This is why I don't play a lot of new releases, because I was burned as a child so many times. Yeah, so I never got many PS3 games after that, because it's like, this is enough. Let's just stop before it gets any worse. The PS3 game, the version is actually like worse than the Xbox 360 version.
Is it?
It doesn't. I think the load times are slightly longer, and it doesn't have achievements. I don't think.
Yes, trophies.
Trophies. I don't have like a PSN account, so I didn't get any of them. No, I 100%ed it, and I didn't get any trophies. So it just doesn't have trophies. Yeah, so I did it literally for nothing. Finding all those silver medals and just S ranking everything. You have no fucking clue how devastating it is to like die at the end of like a 10-minute Sonic 06 level with 3 load times in the middle.
Probably about as bad as having to play Wacky Workbench in Sonic CD 100 times to shave off a second for the speedrunning achievement.
It's a fucking experience to play Sonic 06 because at any point the game can completely betray you. Just you fall through the floor or you clip an enemy or like an obstacle on like a mock speed section and you fucking die and you waste all that time and you can't get your S rank back. And it's just like, or the controls wig out. You start to like, you learn the game's shittiness over time through all these failures, and you learn like what's the safest thing to do that like the game won't fuck out. You like learn this very specific path through the levels that like is the least likely to betray you. It's so fucking bizarre. And End of the World, the last level, is just the worst. Like that is the most tense moment I have had playing any video game ever. Just trying being
it's
through.
Such a go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, it is such a shame that level sucks because like it has you play as like a lot of the really best characters. Like Silver and Blaze and Shadow are like some of my favorite Sonic characters.
Oh, you just mean like as characters you like them?
Yes.
I was gonna say because Sonic is the best character to play as, and you don't play as him because he's dead. You don't even play as Blaze. Blaze is another good character, to relatively speaking, in that game, and you don't play as her because she's disintegrated. But like you go through 7 load times and all these characters that are all shit and slow, and you have to like avoid all these like random ass like time portals that pop up and can instant kill you. And if you die at any point, you lose all your points and bye S rank. So I'm sitting there in the very last like 7th section, having carefully mapped out exactly how is like the least likely path for me to get fucking killed. I'm like shaking and sweating. And I'm trying so hard to like get rings, but also avoid any possible death anywhere. And I'm like scared to hit a spring because I don't know what's gonna happen. That might be the hardest thing I've ever done in a video game. I mean, you can see the passion that it's inspired in me.
Yeah.
I could write a fucking master's thesis on everything that's wrong with that game. But Sonic games are totally good, guys. Most of them.
They're fun.
I mean, it just like that and Shadow the Hedgehog's ridiculously toothless approach to edginess. That like those games came out in back-to-back years. So like Shadow the Hedgehog's tone and then Sonic 06's completely fucking brokenness, as well as kissing a human woman.
Just
that
crumpling the reputation of this franchise.
That back-to-back shot has completely ruined the franchise in the eyes of critics for all time. Like,
which is a shame because Colors was really good.
It has never ever recovered from that.
Like, Colors was really strong,
and so was Generations.
Yeah,
and so was Mania, and then Forces ruined what good reputation it got from that. Like Sonic is just constantly shooting itself in the foot. Like
the thing with Forces is I didn't think it was bad.
Sonic forces it in.
But I also didn't think that it was like I also didn't think it was very good either. I thought it was it felt like if
Sonic 4 did not help the reputation either.
If Sonic is bubble wrap, like if a good Sonic game is bubble wrap, nice, like satisfying, pop it between your fingers. Sonic Forces is like a foam peanut. It just takes up space, and it's technically, the same thing at its core. It's just,
it's being a Sonic fan is such a frustrating experience because you're constantly rooting, hope against hope for them to make good games, because like I know you guys are capable of making good games and these great experiences. You've done it before, and every so often they stumble into success, and then they make something like Lost World that goes off the beaten path and nobody likes it, or like Free Riders, which was a broken mess, and then they go back to ruining their reputation again. It's like, stop! Why do you keep sabotaging yourselves?
Chet the Hawk's design is really good.
Well, his voice isn't.
Yeah, but his design, and Wave the Swallow's design is really good too. Storm the Albatross, not so much, but the rest of the Babylon Rogues really cool looking.
It's an abusive relationship. It's like I know you're capable of better, guys. You've done it before.
I'm not mad. I'm mad, and
then they They take 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
Got 100,000 pounds sitting on my back,
Good
up and down. Don't know quite what to do to get through. You know what I'm talking about?
Good song.
What
Never
is
Turn
that?
Back.
Never Turn Back, yeah, from Shadow. The
Yeah.
neutral ending?
No, it's the last story ending.
Oh, okay, the true ending.
Dude, can you tell how devoted I am when I'm one of like the 10 people in the world that's done all 386 runs or 326 runs of Shadow the Hedgehog? But yeah, so
Ultimate life form.
Mega Man is consistently satisfying, even though it's dead now.
Mega Man 11 came out like when?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Have you played it?
I have bought it. I have not played it yet, but I've heard it's serviceable, which is all it needed to be.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I'd feel about it.
What we really need now is an X9. We need an X9 with SNES graphics, like 9 and 10 were with the NES. That, or I'd accept PlayStation aesthetics too. What we really need is a ZX3, but I know that's not fucking happening because it didn't sell.
Legends 3.
I don't care about Legends. I never played it. I hear it's good, but I don't care.
All right. Any other games you want to gush about?
I don't consider myself like a huge Pokemon fan because I haven't played any of the new ones, but they certainly have some of the best replay value of any games I've ever played.
So you can play through them with a different team like a billion times.
Yeah. So Mega Man consistently satisfying, Sonic consistently frustrating. It's like you're rooting for an addict to pick their life back up because I know
Sonic is consistently inconsistent.
I know what they're capable of if only they could, pick themselves up and get off the rock.
We need a game that plays like how the Sonic CD or the Sonic OVA with Knuckles in the hat. We need a game that plays how that looks.
With Sarah, the Neko president's daughter.
No.
And Metal Sonic looking up her skirt.
No, we can leave that part out.
And then her imagining having babies with Eggman. It's so frustrating to see people gush about the Sonic movie and how they improved his design. It's like we got a good Sonic movie in the 90s. It was called the Sonic OVA.
Yeah. And it had that really sick song, fucking Look-alike. Yeah.
It's like, why don't they just make that?
And it had like the
why do we have shitty CG Sonic? This is like those fucking Smurfs movies. He's like with a human
Island,
cop.
Or
What is this?
Central Island theme?
What is this, Sonic X? Like, it's fucking stupid. He should not be interacting with people.
Unless that people is Eggman.
Unless that person is Chris Chan.
No.
I'd watch a Chris Chan movie. The Adult Chronicles.
Alright. So
I guess that's enough gushing from me.
For me,
like 20 minutes.
I've got my favorite franchise, which is Pokemon. I've kind of been playing Sword this entire podcast.
Not surprised.
Because, well, really, I'm just like running around grinding on enemies. I want to hear the music whenever I'm like doing new stuff. I'm like right in front of the first gyms. I'm like, I have got my headphones in my lap in the computer so I can do the podcast. And so I've just been like, kind of been, playing the, I've just been grinding my team up. It's been really fun. Like, I know that people have been like very torn about the game. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast. It is making me smile and experience childish wonder.
I'm glad you experienced joy, Joe.
Thank you, Spnanon.
However, I have not played a new Pokemon game in years, and
your last was Black and White, right?
The last one I paid for was Black and White. The last one I played was Black and White 2.
So X and Y are, I feel like a lot of people kind of hate on those, but I also feel like they're serviceable. In my opinion, they're the weakest in the franchise. No, Diamond and Pearl are the weakest
I'm just saying that the way I've enjoyed all new releases the last few years is just watching VP on 4chan get mad about the changes. Because that's funny to me.
So Sword, I've been enjoying it a lot. It's different. It's not different like Sun and Moon where there's like not gyms anymore. It's different in like there's a overworld, open world where you can encounter like level 50 Pokemon just at the start, like in Route 1. If you just walk up to them, most Pokemon now the tall grass, like there's some tall grass patches that you can shake around, but it's it's not random patches of grass. There's like exclamation marks and question marks, and if you walk up to them, those trigger battle. Every other wild encounter is you see the Pokemon in the overworld, you walk up to it, or it chases you down. So like random encounters exist, but also you can just see Pokemon running around in the open and go and get them. And like it feels very, very different, but also kind of the same. It's fun so far. And then my favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, because that game's story is way more like engrossing and like rich than you'd expect from a spin-off of a Pokemon game. But like it's very emotional, and the music is just superb, and the writing is good, and the characters are good.
Most Mystery Dungeon you're talking about?
Sky. Like Darkness and Time are like Sky is the platinum version of those games. And it has like,
I think Darkness and Time are still good, but there is no reason
Time and Darkness
to play them
are
over
good,
Sky.
but they don't have like the side stories.
Yeah, where you
that's
get
what
to
I mean.
play
Like,
as Plant Jesus himself, Grovyle.
Yeah. When Sky exists, there is no reason to play the first two.
Remember, Grovyle died for your sins.
He didn't die though.
He died. He did though. He just got better. He
Arceus saved them all.
Yeah, he literally resurrected.
Yeah, that was like a legit. Like those are all like great side stories.
Plant Jesus.
I even choked up a little bit when Armaldo was saying goodbye to Wigglytuff.
Dude, the first time I ever cried over a video game was in the End of Time, where like you've got your main character who's a silent protagonist forever, and then like they actually have him speak to your partner as he starts to fade from existence.
I didn't even notice that was the first time he spoke.
Well, he had like internal monologues and
yeah,
stuff.
I know that like you always spoke in parentheses. I think that's why it didn't stand out to me as much.
But then like he actually speaks, and it's like, like earlier in the game, whenever they like were speaking or something, they just like they did like a little walking animation and implied that they said whatever. This time they actually speak, and Don't Ever Forget starts playing, and your partner starts to cry, and they're like, I don't want you to go, and it's ooh. That's a lot for a 10-year-old to take in.
Blue and Red Rescue Team are pretty good too.
But I feel like
obviously not as strong, but
yeah,
their plot seemed like a little more kind of all over the place. But I really did like the part where you were fugitives.
You're fugitives in Sky as well. When you're like
in the future,
yeah. And then also
like,
when you first get back and you go to Sharpedo Blow. God, when I hear Treasure Town's music, I just get like teary-eyed.
That's the best sequence in both games when you're like away from your home base for multiple dungeons in a row, because that makes you feel like you're really on a quest because you like don't have all your shit anymore.
Super Mystery Dungeon, I think, had a sequence like that.
Yeah, like Gates to Infinity was a little bit forgettable.
Oh, I haven't played any past Sky.
Super Mystery Dungeon is good. I'd probably rank it under Explorers, but above Red and Blue. Rescue Team. I'd say one of my favorite moments in that video game is when like in a Super Mystery Dungeon, it implies that every single Pokemon you recruit, if it was a Pokemon from the previous game, it's not like the previous Mystery Dungeons where you can get more than one of the same Pokemon. You get one of each Pokemon you can recruit. And if you recruit Grovyle, that Grovyle is the Grovyle from Explorers. And
See, I never recruited anybody. I always just wanted the two that I started with and nobody else.
But there's a part in the game where you recruit if you recruit Bidoof and Super, that's the Bidoof that was in Wigglytuff's guide.
Guild.
Guild. And when you go to since it has all of the Pokemon, there's the Dialga fight. Guess what? Dialga's fight to the finished place, and it's the coolest. They replay Dialga's fight to the finish, which might I add is the best song in Pokemon games. Da-da-da-da!
It's good. It almost seems kind of cheery though.
Yeah, it's this big climactic moment, and it's like you're accepting that winning this battle will cost you your very existence, but it's for the future, and this is what you came here to do. And so it's like, it is this big climactic thing, and despite you knowing that oblivion awaits, you fight on anyway.
See, the effect is kind of lessened when every boss is just solved by throwing a sleep seed at it and then wailing on it.
That's true.
That's the one thing I don't like about those games is that it's just you're very squishy. Like it's very easy to die. So when you're in a protracted like boss fight, the only way to win every time is just to do that.
No, my strategy is cramming my bag full of reviver seeds.
Well, yeah, they are literally the best item. See, I never got into the post game with those games. I always hated it because of the traps.
The post game in Sky there's a second campaign. Like there's an entire game.
I played the post game through for both of them. I just didn't really like it because they started adding traps, and I just thought that was really bullshit. Because you need like specific items to see them.
There's a skill from gummies you can get that lets you not trigger them when you walk over them.
Yeah, but you gotta eat a million gummies.
And also, when you're a little dumb kid, you don't know that that's an option. You just fed them to Manaphy.
I don't know, that's just too much RNG for my liking.
I'm also going to take a moment to gush about two games that are not my favorites, but they're up there because I really enjoy how they mesh the art style into gameplay in just the smallest of ways, and that is Persona 5 and Okami. Those games are beautiful. They've got their own unique art styles that, like, Persona 5, you got this, like, very stylish kind of game. Everything you do is stylish. The attacks, the menus, everything about it is stylish, and they both, video game music is just the best. It's the best genre of music. And you've got a ton of really great characters, and it's very memorable. Persona 5 is good. Probably my fourth favorite game. Or it's tied third place, along with Okami, which I love for similar reasons, where it's just got memorable characters, of an incredibly unique art style where the entire game looks like an ink painting. And like you even fight with like brush techniques, which is very, very unique. And the final showdown against Yami with the rising sun playing in the background, which might be my favorite title for a song track ever. The sun rises, the rising sun, whatever you want to call it. Both games are very unique in their art style and blend their art style pretty strongly into the gameplay.
I feel like that's half the appeal of a lot of the Sonic games is being able to do it with style.
Yes, it's
like that's the thing. Like
Persona 5 bleeds a style.
People play through those games like once and they just kind of stumble through it because they don't know the levels. And I think a lot of the appeal of it is to run back through them if you have that kind of, if you enjoy it enough to do that, which I guess a lot of people don't. But to have that dedication to like run through a level and just get that perfect run where everything's going right, and just like in order to get an A or an S rank, you basically have to know it front to back exactly how you're going to handle everything. And like you're able to do it with style, basically. And it just looks so good when it's finished. And you just like when you get on a roll like that, it's just like a great experience to watch those points tick up because you're like, oh yeah, it's all coming together. It's almost, I guess if you were like into speedrunning or something, then Sonic's the game for you. Go figure.
Now, let me talk to you about a game called Xenoblade Chronicles Cross. It is my favorite game. Too? No, my favorite game of all time. That game has.
Should we conclude on this since it's going to take another hour?
We concluded forever ago.
Are you even going to put this in?
Yeah, it'll be at the end, of course. So
Cog checked out a while ago.
Xenoblade X is great because there's so much customization to that game. You can play it however you want. There's like 8 different endgame classes there, with each their own melee and ranged weapon. Master that class, and you get all the attacks and weapons, and you can use them in other classes. Those weapons give you different attacks, and you get skills, and so you can like combo them together and really fun and interesting builds that can pull off some really goofy shenanigans. The world is great. It's got 5 continents. There's like the starting one, like your Green Hills kind of zone, but like there's like hidden caves that go around, and it's got these really cool looking monsters, and you see this like, and like there's mountains, and you think like, oh, that's just background, but then like if you spend the time, you can go there. There is no background in Xenoblade X. If you see a place, you can go to that place. Like if you want to start the game off and then immediately as soon as it like the prologue finishes, you can just swim to the final like continent. It'll take pardon?
Doesn't that apply to the whole series?
Yeah, well, not to Xenoblade 2, because that game is just a series of checkpoints. But like Xenoblade 1, you there's like they like blocks you. You can't spoilers. Well, you can't go to the Mechonis in Chapter 1. In Xenoblade X, if you want to go to Cauldros, as soon as the game lets you like leave the city, you can go there and just get your ass blasted to pieces by level 85 enemies. But at the same time, if you sneak around, you can go around and like find all that high level gear and stuff. And the world is so amazing. Like Sylvalum is my favorite location in game because it's just such a unique biome. Like you get there and you think, okay, this is the snow continent, and then you look around and it's not snow, it's pollen. And then like nighttime comes and this tranquil theme plays, and it's like, this isn't the last level, but it's got and it's not like the big lava scary one with all the scary looking enemies, but it's got the most terrifying ones because they like lurk in the shadows. And there's just, and if you like climb into this orb, there's this big level 97 Tharsis, the Ever Queen. There's just so much exploration and cool alien life forms. And that's just the way the game looks. The characters are they're not all great, but like there's some really memorable ones like El and Lao and Nagi and Irina and Murderous. And then there's Alma, who's basically Maya, in that she's a stoic space warrior woman in a bodysuit. And I know Spnanon, you think their designs are visual vomit, and you know what? Fair, they are.
You know, I wasn't going to bring it up again.
It's got Hiroyuki Sawano on the, and like you've got like individual armor pieces. And if you equip a piece of armor, it changes how your characters look. And there's also fashion gear. If you don't want to have that happen, you can equip a set of armor in like for stats and one for appearance. And like you can make your characters and like all of those like your individual shoulder pieces can be like augmented and changed to like what they buff. Like you can have like one shoulder giving you like gravity resistance plus, and then another one giving you like ether resistance plus. The individual shoulders increasing stats. And then you've got all that customization, like your gear, your arts, your skills, your augments, all of that. And then you can have a customizable character, and then your party members, and there's like 14, 15, 16 party members. And then also the Skells, the giant robots, and they have all of that too. And so there's just like endless customization in that game. You can play it however you want. And then, you know, Sawano does the music, so it's all good. It's the Kill la Kill guy. It's the Attack on Titan guy. So just the music is a banger. You get to rock out to some hardcore tunes as you kick some butt. It's got some strong character. It handles some, like, very serious topics. Like, I'm not even going to spoil it, but, like, there's a moment where, like...
I told you I don't give a shit about spoilers.
Well, I'm talking... for the general populace.
They shouldn't either.
There's a moment where like a character reveals like this big thing, and like there's a traitor among the team, and like they reveal this moment of why they've gone on and become a traitor, and like you don't in an instant you don't condone their actions, and you know that what they're doing is wrong, but you can understand why they do it. And so they become a lot more sympathetic, and they become one of my favorite characters. And there's just a lot of really cool moments, including one where like the Secretary of Defense like strolls into an alien base, and he's just like, "I see you've kidnapped my men. Let me show you why I'm the Secretary of Defense." And he just starts like styling on them, doing like sword combos on these alien goons. It's the coolest. It's the coolest. I love that game so much.
I do intend to play it one day.
one day. Once your Infinity Gauntlet is finished.
I mean, 5 of them are already pretty much done.
So yeah, Xenoblade X is really good, and it's not for everybody. And then the main story is honestly a little bit weak, but there's so many great side quests. If you go in playing it for the main story, you're not going to get a lot out of it. But there are a ton of like overarching side quests that like affect which minor characters live and die. Like there is some weights to your quest. If you fail them, people will die. So you do impact the world through your actions, and it's a very unique world as well. I would recommend if you own a Wii U, which is maybe 5 people. If you own a Wii U and like sci-fi, even just a little bit, I would say it's a must. It's also just an incredibly strong game, and very fun. I put like 300 hours into it, and I would give blood and soul for a sequel.
Maybe it'll come to Switch one day.
I hope it does. I really hope it does. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the Video Game Podcast. I was your host, Joe.
I'm Spnanon.
And I'm the guest, Pivotal Cog.
And we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, that's the join command I gotta do later.